Hi Roland Park readers and happy Wednesday. Today in our Spirit Week we celebrated We Are Roland Park Wednesday. So you can see I've got on my Roland Park shirt. I hope you enjoyed wearing some of your spirit wear to show your school spirit today. Because it is We Are Roland Park Wednesday, I chose a special book that's connected to our state, Maryland, and the book is Crabby and Nabby, A Tale of Two Blue Crabs by Suzanne Tate. What's really cool about this book is most of the books I've been choosing have been fiction stories. This is also fiction. However, Suzanne Tate writes a ton of books about different aquatic animals, and I'll show you the list at the end of this video. So as she's writing a fictional story, she weaves in a lot of facts so you can learn something as you're enjoying the fiction. So sit back, snuggle in, and enjoy our story. Crabby and Nabby, A Tale of Two Blue Crabs by Suzanne Tate, illustrated by James Melvin. Crabby and Nabby were two blue crabs. They swam and ate and lived in the water all of the time. Crabby was a Jimmy crab, and Nabby was a she crab. Crabby was crabby because he only had two little claws. One was a little hard claw and the other one was a little soft one, just beginning to grow back. You see, Crabby had an accident. One day he bumped into a big fish and lost both of his claws. But when crabs lose their claws, they can grow them back. Nabby had two large claws. She could easily catch plenty of food. One day, Nabby met Crabby. "Why are you so blue?" she said to him. "I can't catch enough food with these little claws," said Crabby sadly. Nabby felt so sorry for her new friend. "Come, let's go fishing," she said, "and I will catch some food for both of us." So Crabby and Nabby swam along until they saw a school of fish. Nabby began to nab one little fish after another. Now it was springtime and the weather was getting warm. There was lots of food for Crabby and Nabby. Crabby's claws grew bigger and stronger, and Nabby began to get bigger and bigger under her shell from eating so much food. She was getting too big for her house, which is her shell. So, Nabby was becoming a buster crab. Her shell started to crack open and she began to cry. "What am I going to do without my shell?" she asked Crabby. "I will be eaten if I am a soft crab without a shell." Crabby knew Nabby was right. Everything likes to eat soft crabs, birds, fish, snakes, and even humans and other crabs. Crabby remembered the scary time when he had been a soft crab. He always had to hide to keep from being eaten. So let's see what he does to help. "Don't worry," Crabby said to Nabby. "I will protect you." So he picked up Nabby and cuddled her next to him with his 6 legs. Nabby was happy. She thought, "Now I'm safe. You are a true blue friend, Crabby." But along came a man with a dip net. "Oh, there's a doubler. 2 crabs together," he said to himself. I will catch some crabs 2 at a time." But Crabby was too quick for that man. He carried Nabby and swam quickly to deeper water. Now, Crabby's shell was cracking more and more. It was time for her to be a soft crab. But wait, it was more than that. It was time for Nabby to be a mama crab. She was old enough to have little crabs. Crabby knew it was that time. How he knew, nobody knew. Crabby took Nabby in close to the shore, where the water was not so deep. He turned her loose gently and let her rest just in front of him. Nabby turned and twisted, slipped out of her shell backwards. Now she was a soft crab. All of a sudden, another big Jimmy Crab came along. Crabby was so mad that he waved his claws at that Jimmy Crab and scared him away. Crabby picked up Nabby and cuddled her again, this time upside down, and just like that, Crabby and Nabby became Mr. and Mrs. Blue Crab. In just a few hours, Nabby's soft shell turned hard again, and then Crabby and Nabby swam away into the deep water. Later on, when it was springtime again, a great change came to Nabby. She became a sponge crab. Thousands and thousands of eggs bloomed out from under her tail or apron. When the weather became warmer, Nabby's eggs hatched. Thousands and thousands of little Crabbies and Nabbies began a new life and swam away. The strange thing is, they didn't even look like crabs. They were so small that they could not be seen in the water. As the days went by, the new little Crabbies and Nabbies swam and ate. They began to change shape and look like little crabs. They caught their food with their tiny claws and grew bigger and stronger. Each time when the little crabs grew too big for their old shells, they twisted and turned and backed out of their shells, just like Nabby had. They became soft crabs, but in a few hours, the little soft crabs were hard crabs again, with bigger, brand new shells. It wasn't long before the little crabs grew big enough to be Mama and Daddy crabs, just like Crabby and Nabby. And later on, thousands and thousands of Crabbies and Nabbies hatched and swam away in the water again. The end. And here's a list for you of all those other sea animals that Suzanne Tate writes about. So if you're looking to catch some more, you can see if you can order these books online. So I hope you enjoyed the story of our two blue crabs tonight and their life cycle. For tonight, sweet dreams and happy reading.